Jumping straight into things, let's start the recap series off with the character that kicked it all off in the first place. Sora is the central protagonist of the franchise, having helmed 4 of the games himself and played a critical role in just about all the others. He's a warm, compassionate kid who has the strongest sense of justice but not the strongest sense of intelligence. Basically think the prototypical shonen hero, but perfected to a science. He was born on Destiny Island, and in that moment his newly born heart, as in the metaphysical heart, not his actual physical heart, came into contact with the heart of a boy named Ventus, who after severe trauma was reaching out for aid. Sora, being a good kid from the outset, offered to help, and the two formed a connection while Sora's heart temporarily supported Ventus's heart in healing itself. Fast forward 4 years and Sora is, well, just chilling on his home island when Ventus's heart appears to him again, having followed their connection after effectively dying in some kind of battle. Note the word effectively here because, as you will quickly learn, no one in the series actually dies. Ever. Even if you have the body. No, especially if you have the body, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Point is, Ventus's injured heart takes shelter within Sora's, though since Sora is 4, he won't quite remember this happening, especially since it happened in a metaphysical dream plane called the Dive into the Heart. Now we fast forward to the actual first game in the franchise where Sora is 14. After experiencing the world's coolest dream sequence, he is woken to spend time with his 2 best friends, Kairi and Riku. It's quickly established that the boys have a friendly rivalry, and Sora and Kairi seem to share burgeoning romantic feelings for each other. The 3 plan to use a makeshift raft they built to explore other worlds, but a night before they're set to leave, a storm hits the island and begins to literally tear it apart. Sora rushes to the island and finds his friends already there. Kairi instinctually or accidentally ends up giving her heart to Sora for safekeeping, and Riku is consumed by darkness. This leaves Sora alone to survive the monsters attacking the islands, learning that he can summon a weapon called a Keyblade in order to fend them off. After being sucked into the world-destroying death orb that has been forming above his planet, he wakes up in Traverse Town. There, he befriends a number of people, including Donald and Goofy of Disney fame, and together they leave Traverse Town in order to search for their missing friends and fight off the threat of the monsters plaguing the universe at large, the Heartless. The 3 set out to combat the menace by sealing the heart of each world they travel to, which stops the Heartless from consuming those worlds. During this, Sora has a number of encounters with Riku that reveal that Riku has somehow sided with the Heartless and a gang of villains. There's eventually a showdown between Sora and Riku, who learns that he is possessed by a man named Ansem. After besting Ansem and learning Kairi's heart is inside of him, Sora doesn't hesitate to sacrifice himself in order to free her and bring her back to life. Though he is turned into a Heartless for a brief period of time, Kairi manages to pick him out of the pack and bring him back to life. Remember this moment for when we get to one of the later parts in the series, it's incredibly important. After regrouping with his friends, Sora sets out to the Nexus of Heartless Power, the end of the world, and defeats Ansem there in the ruins of Destiny Island before he can summon Kingdom Hearts. Another crazy metaphysical entity that, when properly manipulated, can control all the worlds in existence. Unfortunately, even though Sora succeeded, it doesn't mean he's getting a happy ending, and he is ultimately separated from both of his friends, being brought to some random grassy field that's never really given a proper name. While exploring this field, he, Donald, and Goofy stumble upon Castle Oblivion, a scary looking place that no sane person would enter. So of course the idiots enter it. Once inside, they quickly encounter several cloaked figures that call themselves Organization 13. Drawn by the feeling and not too subtle hints from the organization that their missing friends are inside the castle, they begin to progress through it, seemingly repeating key events from their last adventure as they go. More horrifyingly, the deeper they go, the more the memories of their friends and lives are called into question as they slip away without warning. It gets so bad that Sora's memories of Kairi are completely replaced by a different girl, one called Naminé. Near the top floor, Naminé is able to show herself to Sora and explain that she's a witch that can manipulate both his memories and the memories of those connected to him. After defeating 2 of the organization members running the castle, including the head honcho Marluxia, Naminé puts Sora, Donald, and Goofy into a deep sleep so that she can repair the memories in his heart and the hearts of those that knew him. We pick up 1 year later in Kingdom Hearts 2, after waking up from his slumber in Twilight Town. He befriends some locals, and with their help, he, Donald, and Goofy get on a train that takes him to the Wizard Tower, where a powerful sorcerer Yen Sid resides. Yen Sid then proceeds to explain how the Heartless were only really kind of mildly annoyed by Sora at the end of Kingdom Hearts 1. You'd think that it'd be more of a big deal killing the big kahuna, but fine, whatever. And that the Heartless are back at it again with them black vans. He also mentions a new threat, the Nobodies, and their leaders, Organization 13, who Sora encountered earlier, but due to the memory shenanigans, he doesn't remember them or Naminé. As far as Sora is concerned, Castle Oblivion never happened. Armed with this new info and some nifty powers, the trio once again set out to stop the evil and find Riku, since they know that Kairi is okay back on Destiny Islands after the end of the first game, and encountered King Mickey just before boarding the train. They reason if the king can escape from the world of darkness, where Riku and him were both trapped, Riku can too, so he must be somewhere out there. Along the way, Sora learns that the organization's plan is relatively simple, to have him kill Heartless so the hearts they release go towards a new and improved moon-shaped Kingdom Hearts that they can use to control for their own purposes. While this is happening, Sora learns that Kairi has been taken from Destiny Island as a captive by the organization, and in a moment of desperation is willing to give in to the darkness if it means fighting his friends. He is rejected by one of the organization members since that's not what they want from him, and eventually Sora manages to track down the organization's stronghold through a portal in a digital replica of Twilight Town. Yeah, just tuck the whole replica thing away for a rainy day. That comes up a lot with other characters in the franchise. Upon arriving in the world that never was, Sora is drawn to the dive into the heart and is attacked by a boy also wielding a keyblade, leading to an intense fight where Sora is ultimately victorious. The boy congratulates Sora on his victory and compliments him, returning Sora to reality ultimately confused by what just happened. Sora and friends fight their way to the top of the organization base, reunite with Kairi and Riku, and confront the leader of the organization, Xemnas, in a pretty epic tag team fight with Riku. With Xemnas destroyed, the two are trapped in the world of darkness and accept their fates. However, a bottled letter, something sent by Kairi earlier in the second game, finds them, and through reading her words out loud, they find their way back home, splashing down in the oceans back at Destiny Islands. Sometime later, after things have cooled down, Sora and Riku receive a letter from the king informing them that he has learned that Sora is the key to helping a number of different people escape from their own suffering. A list that includes Ventus, though again, Sora's memory of Ventus is still non-extant at this point. It's also asked that Sora and Riku come back to the Wizard Tower so even more can be explained to them, so the two set out for it. Arriving at Yen Sid's dig, Sora and Riku agree to undergo the Mark of Mastery exam to become the Keyblade Master in order to fight Master Xehanort, a villain from the past that we'll get to. He's getting his own video in the future, trust me, he needs it. Back on track, Sora and Riku are actually sent back in time by Yen Sid to just before their island was destroyed. The two steal their own raft and head out to the ocean to find a new type of world, the Sleeping Worlds. After being caught in a fight with Ursula, they're separated and enter seemingly different dream spaces. Sora and Riku explore the Sleeping Worlds independently, but simultaneously, seemingly overlapping with one another in different planes of existence. Near the end of this journey, Sora is confronted by a young Master Xehanort who begins to explain his evil plan. Again, I'll come back to this in his own video because that's a whole basket of mess. What's important is that Ursula separating Sora and Riku was the goal, so that Xehanort could corrupt Sora's heart via his clothes of all things, and ultimately possess him as a fulfillment of his evil plans. This also coincides with Sora getting a good glimpse inside his own Frankenstein heart, seeing all the different connections he's made, even the ones he's forgotten about or was never aware of. Sora is seemingly lost to the darkness, but then rescued by his friends. After returning to the real world and the present, Riku dives back into Sora's dreams to rescue him one last time. They both awake, and Yen Sid only passes Riku as a Keyblade Master, which Sora takes pretty well, and it's still ecstatic to hear that his friend made it. Sora sets out on his own for a little while to the Sleeping Worlds to thank all the adorable little critters that helped him during his exam, the Dream Eaters, and when he gets back he discovers that everyone else has been set out on their own personalized assignments. Yen Sid comments that Sora has, as a consequence of failing his exam, lost much of his power, and in order to reclaim it he should seek out another hero that has gone through something similar. Frustrated by this Metroid-esque ass pull, Sora, Donald, and Goofy remember Hercules, a friend of theirs from one of the worlds they visited during Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2. Seeing no other real candidates, the trio set off to meet with him, and this is presumably where Kingdom Hearts 3 will pick up. With that, we're ending this video here. Trust me when I say that not all these videos are going to be so focused on one character at a time. Sora and later Xehanort are just exceptions to what I hopefully will be a more compact series of videos. If you like this video, please give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. If you do, remember to click that bell to get the actual notifications YouTube should send you with its subscriptions. If you think I missed something vital or want to discuss something with fellow fans of the series, leave a comment down below. Consider also becoming a member on my channel by clicking the join button on the YouTube gaming link that I have, so you can get a nifty little icon next to your name every time you comment on one of my chats while I stream. And if you want to support this channel, please check out my Patreon. For $1 or more, you get access to the Team Frostbite Discord server where critics and fans alike like to mingle. A loving shout out to each and every one of my current patrons who help keep this little channel afloat. Without you guys lighting the proverbial torch under my rear, nothing would ever get done, I swear. That's all for now. Stay tuned for the next video in this series, The Destiny Islanders.